From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
We were lucky. They downplayed how severe that accident is.
A scary scene for kids and parents after school, the latest after a bus crash that sent some Billings students to the hospital.
So this may be a dream that may not occur.
Project still on pause. What's next for the possible state mental health facility as the decision deadline looms?
There are still places in Montana that are not overrun, and this is one.
And over the bridge and up to Woodbine Falls, how hikers are able to return to a treasure Montana landmark in this week's Out and About. Those stories and much more coming up in the next hour. Good morning and welcome back to Montana This Morning on this Friday, August 29th. I'm Hailey Monaco here with Miller Robson.
Hey, good morning, Hailey. Happy Friday. TGIF, everyone, as we head into the long Labor Day weekend. I've already checked out. I am ready. College football, nice weather, gonna do some grilling. How much longer before we get out of here? Another hour. Okay, all right. No, just serious. Hey, you know what? Geeking out on the sunrise this morning. Look at that. I believe, is that over Pryor there? Is that a Pryor shot there? Oh, Sydney. Excuse me. Over Sydney. My bad. Yeah, look at that.
Beautiful.
Oh, my goodness. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm just a geek when it comes to the sunrises and sunsets. You know that. All right, so yesterday, a little cooler than average, our high of 79. We're going to try to get back on track as we get into the weekend. Really, actually, we're going to warm right back up again. We got some 90s maybe in the forecast Sunday into Monday, but today, another day staying below average. Our low yesterday of 62, so that was about 8 degrees above the norm. Top gust yesterday of 24. At the airport, we did get some rain last night, nothing really measurable at the airport. We're still in the hole for the month. We may make up some ground. There is a lot of moisture out there to tap into. The question is, will we do that? And will these storms be slow moving enough to be beneficial to give us some of that rain? For the year, though, we're still pacing ahead. We'll take a look at the latest drought monitor coming up here in just a bit. We're still in great shape here in Yellowstone County, but has there been any improvement around us? We'll take a look. A little bit of rain right now near Lodge Grass, maybe Colstrip getting into the act. Roundup, you may see a little bit of rain this morning off there in the southeast corner of the state as well. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, 63 right now here in Billings. Feels like 63. Humidity at 84%. Dew points at 58. Winds out the southwest at about 7 miles an hour. So we may see some rain this morning, maybe this afternoon, but later this evening, a better chance we could see some showers and thunderstorms. One more day below average, and then we start to see those temperatures warming up. We'll talk about that. The Labor Day weekend forecast coming up.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
We begin this morning after a scary bus ride home yesterday afternoon for some Billings students. The bus blew a tire on Shiloh Road, sending it careening about 40 feet off the road and down an embankment. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt, but students and their parents were shaken up. Our Charlie Kleps has the latest.
This was the scene when we arrived at that crash on Thursday afternoon. As you can see, that school bus is still 40 feet off of the road after authorities say the driver lost control, leaving 4 students with minor injuries.
We were lucky.
That's how many were feeling on Thursday.
But it could have been a whole lot worse.
Parents and first responders rushed to this scene after learning that a school bus carrying 4 students went off of the road and into a ditch, striking trees along the way.
But I was shocked that there wasn't a lot more injuries.
Courtney Holmquist's child was on the bus and was one of 3 students treated for minor injuries. Somehow the bus managed to stay upright, narrowly missing the ditch. It ended up leaning against this tree.
They downplayed how severe that accident is.
Andrea Bethel also rushed to the scene to pick up her daughter. She told us she was frustrated with how she was notified and even more startled by what she saw.
I thought half of them are going to be severely injured. That's down in a ditch. That's not a couple of feet off the road.
School District 2 blames a tire blowout for the crash, but police are investigating. For now in Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Thank you, Charlie. Now, since that report, MTN News has learned that the students were on their way back to Yellowstone Academy coming from the Yellowstone Boys and Girls Ranch. We will keep following this story for updates as we learn them. Montana is stepping up law enforcement this Labor Day weekend to keep drivers safe, with impaired driving the leading cause of traffic deaths. The Montana Department of Transportation says this weekend marks the end of the 100 deadliest days. Drivers could face stiff penalties, including jail time and fines up to $10,000 if they're caught drinking. Last year, alcohol contributed to 34% of Montana's traffic deaths. Officials urge everyone to have a sober ride and report impaired drivers. In continuing national coverage in Minnesota, the shooter in a mass shooting on a Catholic school campus in Minneapolis had apparently visited the church weeks ago to conduct surveillance. A parent provided this video to CBS News showing the panicked escape when the shooter began firing. 2 children were killed and 18 other people were injured. Police say they are still looking for a motive.
3 shotgun shells were recovered, along with approximately 116 rifle rounds.
Of course, we're standing up with thoughts and with prayers, but thoughts and prayers are not going to cut it.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey stood with the group of Moms Demand Action yesterday to call for a ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. In Wyoming this morning, the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office says missing climber Grant Gardner has been found dead in the Cloud Peak Wilderness. It's a story we've been following closely since he went missing on August 1st. A professional climbing team from North Carolina spotted a backpack under a ledge while making camp Tuesday night and alerted authorities. Search and rescue teams launched at first light and located Gardner's remains near the pack. Officials say he appeared to have suffered a tragic accident. The sheriff's office says while the outcome is heartbreaking, it brings closure to Gardner's family. This morning, the future of a proposed state mental health facility is in limbo. Nearly 2 weeks after Governor Greg Gianforte hit pause on the Eastern Montana project, state authorities face a deadline to spend the $26 million set aside. Our David J. shows us where things stand and how one senator is trying to keep it on track.
It's on hold. So I am a champion that I believe that it will be a great plus for Eastern Montana. And I do believe the best location will be Yellowstone County, wherever it's at. If it's on hold for a year or so, yes, we will. It will have to go into the next legislative session, and potentially we may not have money. So it may be a dream.
The dream was possibly to use this site on Skyway Drive in the Billings Heights to build a state forensic mental health facility. But plans changed and the future remains unknown. Q2 reporters asked for an update from the governor's office. We received this email saying the administration and the department are committed to working with all partners. Given the importance of this project and the need to keep it on track, that work is underway. Q2 also reached out to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for an update on the next steps. Its response pointed us back to the governor's office. A spokesperson stated, "I would suggest you consider that a joint response from the governor's office and DPHHS because we work very closely together as part of the executive branch of state government." Governor Gianforte says funding for a state mental health facility is a historic investment.
We're committed to expanding behavioral health services to make sure every Montanan can get the care they need and live up to their full potential.
But city and county officials want more details on that historic investment, saying the state is moving too fast and not providing the community with enough information on what may be coming to town.
We have some architectures and some people looking into it, but it has not gone to this point of actual blueprints. It could be 20 beds. It could be 30 beds. We're not sure.
Senator Yakowicz is sure of the need to get these questions answered. He shared his 5-page plan of action to get the answers the governor's office is seeking.
I've met probably 15 to 20 providers in the community already, and I'd say 80% of them are all for it.
So the search continues and the clock is ticking down. In Billings, David J., MTN News.
David, thank you. House Bill 5 gives legislators until June 2026 to spend the $26.5 million allocated for a mental health facility. Well, back in Montana, the future of Billings Rimrock Mall, the largest shopping center of its kind in Montana, is now in question. County officials tell MTN News the mall's owner, Kohan Retail Investment Group, owes nearly $600,000 in unpaid property taxes and penalties. Treasurer Hank Peters says the group has until today to pay, or a third party could step in and purchase the debt. If that happens, Kohan would have to pay it back with interest or risk losing the property in 3 years. Kohan, which bought Rimrock Mall last year for $28 million, has a history of late payments at malls in other states. So far, the company has not responded to requests for comment. We also learned earlier this week that Claire's is closing its store in Rimrock Mall, one of 300 stores it's closing across the country. A new twist in the ongoing saga involving a controversial guest ranch and golf course on the west side of the Crazy Mountains, as the town of Columbus says it's not selling water to Crazy Mountain Ranch. The ranch is owned by a subsidiary of the same company that owns the controversial Yellowstone Club near Big Sky. As we've reported, the city of Big Timber had agreed to sell 100,000 gallons per day to help the ranch irrigate its new 18-hole golf course. But after public outcry, that decision was reversed. The ranch then struck a deal to purchase water from the city of Boulder, more than 100 miles away. Bullock Contracting, the company hauling water to the ranch, told MTN the ranch was also purchasing water from the Four Corners Water and Sewer District near Bozeman, as well as the city of Columbus. But the mayor of Columbus tells MTN the city never agreed to a water deal despite being contacted by Bullock. New research is shedding light on a connection that could affect many of us. Now, a recent study found that people with hearing loss are 32% more likely to develop dementia, highlighting the importance of early hearing checkups and intervention. Our Vanessa Willardson has more on why staying on top of hearing issues could help protect your brain as you age.
It affected the way that I approached people because I didn't want them to know I couldn't hear them.
For Jody Reese, hearing aids have been a game changer since the moment she put them in.
My occupation is with the public, and I'm always on the phone or I'm talking to them in person. And it makes all the difference in the world on how I present myself.
Reese says hearing is deeply personal for her. She says her mother suffered from hearing loss, which she believes contributed to her mom's eventual dementia.
It went a lot quicker because of the fact that she didn't care to hear.
Mark Lefebvre has seen hearing loss lead to dementia in clients for years.
We've always known that there's been some correlation between hearing loss and dementia. But now there's more studies that corroborate what we've been saying.
Lefebvre says lack of brain stimulation from hearing loss can weaken the brain, increasing the risk for dementia. He recommends people experiencing hearing loss seriously consider hearing aids to help slow down hearing loss progression.
Hearing aids are really the number one thing that can kind of stave off hearing loss.
Hearing aids come in multiple forms, including these ones, which are so thin, they're almost invisible once you put them on.
You can pick what works for you, and they'll make sure that they work properly.
According to Dr. Erica Bruin at Intermountain Health, ear infections and regular exposure to loud environments threaten our hearing.
You can leave those environments and still kind of hear the ringing in your ears.
Bruin says you can take steps to reduce your hearing loss every day.
People who work in jobs with loud noises, printing presses or construction jobs, it's really important to follow those occupational safety standards and wear your hearing protection. Also, if you listen with your earbuds or headphones, which has become so common now, making sure that you control for the volume.
In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.